go through some hard things. And for Paul, the output of the hard things we go through is something you wouldn't expect. It's something called hope. In chapter 4, we talked about faith. In this chapter, we talk about hope. And this section we look at ends with love. Paul gives us a progression from hardship to hope. And he begins with suffering, something all of us are well acquainted with. The suffering continues through something called perseverance. Not all of us persevere. I used to have a hard time with perseverance, sometimes still do. I remember I had a job at Casa Bonita in Lakewood, and it was my last day, and I had several hours to go on the shift, but I couldn't seem to take it. I couldn't handle staying through the end of that shift. And I remember my very last day walking out on my boss and him looking at me like I'd lost my mind. My dad would tease me about not finishing things. As a 17-year-old, I took a long-distance bicycle trip from Denver all the way to Wisconsin. I made it halfway through Nebraska, and then had some bike troubles, some knee troubles, and turned around. The following year, when I was 18, I planned a long-distance bicycle trip all the way to Maryland. Well, I made it halfway. I made it all the way to Wisconsin. Somehow, if we can learn a little bit of perseverance, it eventually produces the next thing, something called character. Character is like grit. It's something that people have when they can withstand hard times. They become different people. They become people who view life differently, who don't run from pain, but who persevere, who stand tough, who have character. That person now is eligible to experience hope. Hope is a sense that there's something beautiful at the finish line, something worth looking forward to. And in this case, it's the hope of glory, the hope of radiance, the hope of transformation. Paul tells us that hope doesn't disappoint because God has poured out his love through Jesus Christ. Here we see the progression: faith, hope, ultimately leading to the greatest of the three, which is love. As we mature through hardship, we grow into the people who can persevere and become people of love. We become able to love, and our lives take on a certain reflective glory on their own, a heaviness, a weight that is very much like the weight or the glory of God.